Hi everyone, my name is Gaea. I'm the Secretary General of IOMUN 3. Welcome to the IOMUN panel. With me I have Noya, the President of IOMUN Society, Yonit, the Vice President of IOMUN Society, and Daniel, the Director of IOMUN Society. In this panel we're going to talk about the lessons that we learned from running online MUN during quarantine. So, what is IOMUN?
Thank you, Gaea. Great question. IOMUN stands for International Online Model United Nations. And the goal with IOMUN is really to connect MUNers who are motivated, who are passionate about MUN, who want to delegate and share and meet other people who are as motivated from all over the world to both learn about MUN and create projects. One thing that I've seen from my years of teaching MUN is that in a society, even an active society, not everyone is super motivated. Not everyone is in the same level of dedication and wanting to get things done. Some societies are lucky and have 2, 3, or 4 such people, but some have 1. And at IOMUN, we've seen that like that 1 or 2 or 3 have been able to work together and create something incredible in a very short amount of time. So the idea of IOMUN is to look past borders, both the borders of the wall of your school and also the borders of, cities and countries, to connect those people and be able to create things.
And why was there a need for IOMUN?
Thank you. Basically, it all started when me, Daniel, and Yonit started organizing another conference together. And one day, Daniel had this amazing idea to maybe create something that would go beyond during the coronavirus time while we were all in quarantine at home. Through that, we decided to create something that would allow us to do MUN while Corona was even going on, because a lot of cancels got canceled due to the new restrictions. And since we all love MUN and are avid MUNers, we said, you know what, we're going to put our full time into this and do this the right way. That's why the need for it was there, to give people what they wanted, which is always MUN.
So, who is IOMUN relevant for?
Well, I'll take that question. Basically, everyone. If you love MUN, if you want to start your MUN journey, no matter if you've been to 1 conference, 0 conferences, or 20 conferences, IOMUN is for everyone, and we want to give this opportunity for everyone, truly.
Okay, so can you share with us what are some things that you've learned during this journey?
I think the most important thing was communicating with our teams and working with them in the proper way, and not just being like, okay, we're going to give them this to do. They're going to communicate with us if they have any problems, and just expecting that. That's the main thing that I personally learned. Also, how much things you can get done in a short amount of time with a group of very dedicated and serious people.
Now, I think that personally, I think the thing I've learned was about people in general. I've just met so many incredible people through this journey, and I think it really emphasizes what MUN for me is, which is a place to meet my friends and also debate. But most importantly, it's a place for me to communicate with others and meet new people. And I think that through this journey, through this IOMUN journey, I've met so many incredible, very talented people that I'm really glad I did.
So I would add that for me, having both participated in Model UN and taught Model UN in different countries all over the world, there were different MUN habits and cultures that I learned existed because I was there or because I met a delegation from that specific country. And what I found amazing was that students who would never flown to any of these places could now learn about those same, quirks or differences. And I'll give an example. When we call for, it's a very small one, but it sort of illustrates the norm. So some parts of the world call Model UN MUN. Some places call it MUN. And some places call Moderated Caucus by the full name, and some call it a mod. And in Europe, you usually introduce, I'd like a moderated caucus of 15 minutes, 30-second speaker time. But in North America, they would say 15-1. So if you want a mod of 15-1 and a moderated caucus of 15 minutes, 60 seconds, sentences full of similar jargon can seem different. And I've seen different delegates go like, wait, what? Until they'd figure it out. Same thing from the chair's perspective. And it's very cool to see these differences, from the differences in rules of procedure to differences in other, MUN norms. What do you expect from the chair, the sometimes level of patience that different roles have, is all very cultural. And to meet that without having to fly anywhere, without having to sign any, parent certificate, and being able to do so freely, I think is a really great way to learn more about the world of MUN from the comfort of your own home. But I think like no less exciting.
Okay. So during your journey, have you done something that you're very proud of, and there is something that you regret?
Proud or regret? I don't know. What do you think? What are we proud of?
I think I'm most proud of the amazing people we recruited and how fast we were able to get this up here. And I'm mostly proud of the people that we have here. Like, they've been so initiative and like taken so much initiative and innovative, and they brought this to levels that we could never do this. So I'm honestly most proud of them, and I'm happy that we have these amazing people with us.
Yeah, I'll just continue from your point. I think that what I personally most proud of is the fact that we have such a diverse chairing panel and diverse delegates. Because as Daniel stated in the previous point, you can do IOMUN from anywhere in the world. And this is amazing. We're mostly an Israeli secretariat that has chairs from Saudi Arabia, from Arabic countries, from Bolivia, from Germany, United States, India. That's incredible. Where else would you see such an amazing and diverse group of people come together in order to do MUN? That's amazing, and I think this is personally what I'm most proud of.
I would probably add, as far as pride is to say, I'd say really. So for me, a lot of my MUN career, when I was active, I wanted to do a lot more than was available by the societies and schools that I was part of, and I did a lot of my MUNing as an independent. And I found that oftentimes independent, the deck can be stacked against you because your school doesn't necessarily understand what this Model UN thing is. You don't have friends that you have from your school to go to these places. So while you become very good friends with the people you'll meet there, it's sort of a different language for those independents who go to places on their own. And I think this is a society where those who want to do more can find their fellow independents who are, again, just as motivated and dedicated and just as close friends, I think is really cool. So if there's one thing that I would say stands out here, is that this so far has been, and I think can be even more of a home to MUNers who want to do much more, but their society or biosphere or school system doesn't, allow for that.
Okay. So what is the plan for IOMUN Society?
Before we go to the next question, Gaea, what are you most proud of? For Gaea, I want to point out that this IOTalks was her idea, and she was the head of chairing IOMUN 1 and the head of marketing IOMUN 2. So this Secretary General thing, she's one of those rare individuals who gets to actually try out the different positions and know how they work beforehand. So with quite a bit of IOMUN experience herself, Gaea, what are you most proud of?
Well, that's actually a really hard question. I didn't really think about this before. But I really think I really think that what we achieved in such a short time, we've been doing it for think one month and a half. And we've done 2 conferences and workshops day, and where people are looking at it out like from the outside. Actually, we remember getting a lot of comments on how can you create a conference in like 2.5 weeks? How is it even possible? And I'm like, if you want to do something, everything is possible. And I just think I think personally that this is like one of the most amazing things that I was part of. And again, doing conference in such a short time is really like an incredible thing that we should all be very proud of.
Definitely agree. There was also an additional question that Guy asked us about regret that I realized that we're all saying, positive things. So does anyone have a regret we should bring in this?
My main regret
Yeah, Noya?
circling back to something I said before was, in the first IOMUN, which is where we like test run and really learned, the lack of communication we had and how much I just assumed that everyone would just come forth with us with their problems. I think that's my biggest regret. I think that would have made the conference a bit smoother, and like Gaea could also speak upon this, but that's my personal biggest regret.
Yeah. I mean, I think that also personally for me, because I was supposed to get drafted after IOMUN 1, I was very out. I wasn't in the zone because I was preparing for the military, which is very scary, and of course it's very different than what I do now. Then I think my personal regret is not being out there, and I wish I could have helped Noya more in this process. So, yeah.
So I would say, looking at the level of quality work, specifically in the academics department, but also in all of the departments, I think it's something that more people should see and more people would enjoy. And I have been at MUN conferences run by very serious universities that were much less together on every level compared to the things that IOMUN has put out. So I could say my regret is that more people haven't got to see it and participate. And I've found that looking back to when MUNs were starting in Israel on the university level about 10 years ago, no one knew about this. Like no societies came here. There weren't any links to any clubs. It was a bunch of individuals who usually came just to party. There was like why would you come to a place where MUN doesn't really exist? Forget with all the other tropes. So while I think it's amazing the speed with which things are done, the efficiency which things are working and structures are being built. And I can tell you, having worked with and in many MUN structures, I have not seen something like this before. And I think the places that, we're all going to go are going to be, really, really cool. I do wish that, there would be a little more time to market, to create these links so more people could see the things that are being done. And with IOTalks, like we have the videos that we can put up in places. And I think it's very cool that if, let's say, this panel, while people can see it when it goes live, they can also see it the day afterwards. And some of the videos also go on YouTube. So there is the opportunity for this IOTalks day, though, again, I've never seen anything like this. And it's seems to be working pretty well. So I do hope that in the coming months, we'll catch up with some of our very fast growth, sort of like, so kids growing at, 12, 13 years old, so needs to buy, new clothing. That's something that, so same kind of thing. So I'd like us in the coming months to catch up to that place so that the serious work and the connections and all that can really be appreciated in a where there's more time to enjoy. Like, don't drink your tea quickly, sip it, take an extra minute or two. There are great things happening here, really amazing committees, very cool ideas, and hopefully we'll get there in the coming months.
What is the plan for IOMUN Society?
So I'll take that question. First of all, we're going to do IOMUN 3, which is something I'm sure Gaea will be able to talk way more about it because she's the Secretary General. It's going to be amazing, going to be on the 30 to 31st of May. And it's the first time we're ever going to do a 2-day conference, which is a whole new level of operation. And I'm really glad that we're doing it, and I'm sure Noya, Daniel, and Gaea agree with me. Second, for our next year, we plan to do meetings twice or 3 times a month, and to actually work on projects just like we work on IOMUN now. Maybe next year we'll be able to do that and expand it to other programs as well. And I'm really excited to the future of IOMUN Society. And this is honestly something we thought of at the beginning of the year, way before this whole quarantine thing ever happened. And it didn't work out, but we continued trying. And now with quarantine, it finally comes to life. And personally, I'm really glad for it because I think it's an awesome opportunity for people without a society or with people that want to achieve more. And I know that personally, if I had this opportunity as an sort of independent delegate, I know that my MUN level would be way higher than it is now. And so, yeah, I'm really glad and I'm really looking forward for the future.
Okay. So how do you see the world of MUN?
Pretty
Short. I personally
yeah.
see it as a community. I think that no matter where we are, which is why IOMUN can work, you all have something to bond over, but then there's more. I see the world of IOMUN as more as like delegates or chairs or secretariat members dressed nicely and talking a lot. I see it as people who truly believe in something and want to work towards something better, even if it's just talking in a committee or making funny clauses and all that type of stuff. So I see it personally as my family. If I know someone who does MUN, even if I don't know them that well, you're immediately a part of my family, and it's just so amazing to see them. Which is also why it's so cool that we have IOMUN, because you can meet people that you would never meet. We had someone from New Zealand in the first IOMUN, which is crazy because we would have never met them otherwise. And I think that's just really cool. So that's my personal view on the world of MUN.
So I think that the world of MUN and the benefits of MUN are two very different things. And I say that what Noya says about the friendships, I can definitely say that many of the friendships who strongly impacted my life I met through MUN, people I would not have met otherwise. But I can say for me, MUN, the core of it has always been the skills that you gain through practice with people. I found that the world in the time of, smartphones and, changing games, and it's not like I'm so old myself, but I think that the people skills that an MUNer may take for granted, some people really don't get the chance to do. And in Model UN, in this simulated world, you get to play a different role and practice things with really smart people that you normally wouldn't be able to. And I think the advantage this gives you for negotiating, for trying for jobs, group dynamics, is invaluable. And I think people would pay a lot of money for that today and like later in life and can't get it the same way. So I think for the world of MUN, though, your motivation oftentimes isn't the rush of the committee simulation and the skill. Though I can say that for those who that is their drive, they usually will get the furthest because they will do whatever is needed, organize conferences, travel, and so on to do that. But that isn't to say that there aren't many participants who do it because they like traveling or because they like their friends or because they want to be on their CV. So not everyone loves the MUN part of MUN. That doesn't mean there isn't a lot of benefit for them. And all of them get to come together at the conferences and meet and, hopefully form lasting friendships and make, differences in the skills they know and have.
So after the corona will end, where's the IOMUN going?
So I'm going to circle back to what Yonit said earlier about the IOMUN Society. We're going, after IOMUN 3, we're going to stop running conferences for a while, but hopefully we want to grow our society next year. That's our main goal. And after Corona's over, we can really dedicate time to this and finding people who want to do this and reaching out to them and thinking of building a plan of things we want to do. And if this grows, we could maybe have an actual real life conference that's with people from all around the world. They come here and we go to them. That's the main hope. We just want to grow, keep on growing. As long as there is a want and a need for MUN, we're gonna be there, and we'll be there really big time.
I'd also add to that just like with the wiseme.com, it's a website that I run with someone else, which is an MUN article, like website of how-to articles. It's the website that like it was the website I wish that I had as a delegate at that point in time. And I think for IOMUN, until the social distancing, there wasn't the same need for MUN to have the, I'd say, MUN world update itself to what technology could allow. Because I think a few years ago, to have a society that would meet with everyone comfortably from home through video conferencing, what it wasn't there. You know, the software wasn't reliable. And I think that the need created here had many people putting energy into something which I think the time has come. I think that in a world where everything is so globalized, but I'd say not globalized, correction, immediate, where you can, you know, order the type of food that you want and order the, you know, things that you want and do online courses, why can't you do quality online MUN? And, you know, why are you limited to where you are and how you are? And the fact is that, like, MUN is not caught up to where certain other services and things available have. So I think that the time right now is brought about the time, you know, its time is here and there's a lot of stuff to do.
Okay, so last but not least, what is your favorite meme come from IOMUN?
Oh boy, I think we need to give an introduction that there was an idea given by Yonit here that we must have a meme award because, you know, this is online and memes are a famous thing that are online, and Yonit has made many memes in her life, not belittling the meme abilities of everyone else in this panel. So a lot of memes come our way when you're in you know, creating material for such a conference. So yeah, favorite meme. Anybody?
Mine is
Like,
one that.
choosing between your...
What?
Oh yeah, sorry, no, I continue.
Mine is personally one that one of our secretariat members, who's the USG of academics in the third IOMUN, who also worked his way up, he made a meme about me saying that I said like something about, oh, not to toot my own horn, but this Noya chick sounds pretty cool, and then he made a meme about it, and I thought it was absolutely amazing, and I think he also sent it to my sister, so I personally love that meme.
A meme that goes beyond MUN.
Yeah.
I'd say my favorite meme, there were so many that were really funny. A lot of them are also very like inside jokey, but that's, you know, the beauty of memes. Was one that I saw during IOMUN 2 towards the end, where it's one of those from SpongeBob. Hopefully I'll send it to the editor who can like post it here. It's like, you agree on most things? Yep. You have two resolutions similar in content? Yes. Merging in the SC means there will be no vetoes? That makes sense to me. So merge the resolutions. Merging resolutions is a bad idea. And I don't know, that just hit me in a very tired day. I was just like, you know, thought it was very funny. What about Yonit or Gaea? What are your favorites?
For me, it's a bit like choosing between your children. I mean, it's like after you create what?
That's like choosing prizes. It's choosing between your children when you're a chair.
Yeah, I mean, it's really hard. I think that a lot of my favorite memes are memes mocking secretariat members because why not? It's really hard. Though probably my favorite meme is one that is yet to be published. On Instagram at least, because it's about Gaea. So Gaea has a thing where she says that she asks one last question but then continues to ask more questions. So I made a meme regarding this particular thing, the meme of at one last question or drop 25. Gaea. So
Really,
that's
actually, that was one of my favorites too, but I didn't want to say it because, like, you have to know Gaea for that. Everyone watching this video gets to know Gaea. All right,
Oh
Gaea,
yeah, so
what's
I have
your
like
favorite
one last
meme?
question. Yeah, so my
Thank God you
favorite
ask
meme.
questions. People don't ask enough questions. They just assume they know. You know, you're much smarter when you learn from the mistakes of others.
Trying.
All right, Gaea, what's your favorite meme?
So my favorite meme is MUN in a nutshell. I think it goes like this. I start a sentence and I don't know where it goes, but I hope it will find its way. Something like this. I really relate to it because usually when I do a speech, I don't like prepare anything before, so I just start, have some points in my head and hope I'll get to all of them, and then like somehow it forms as a speech. So when I saw this meme, I don't know, I just like I was laughing for like 10 minutes, and yeah, I can really relate to this one. So
yeah, I also have to say that it was made by Oren, who's the USG of Academics of IOMUN 3, and he's a really good memer, and he really makes me laugh. Another meme that I really like by him is that why is when something happens, it's always you three, UK, US.
oh, DPRK, Russia, and United States. Amazing one. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you learned something new about IOMUN. And see you in the closing ceremony.